On the night of January 2nd, 2000, a young man named Zebb Quinn left work in Asheville, North Carolina. He was just 18 years old, full of dreams, full of plans, and heading out for what seemed like a normal evening. But that night, Zebb vanished. Nobody. No confirmed trace. Only strange clues, suspicious behavior, and decades of questions. This is the haunting story of the disappearance of Zebb Quinn. Part 1. Who was Zebb Quinn? Zebb Lee Quinn was a shy, kind-hearted teenager who worked at a Walmart in Asheville. He loved computers, enjoyed hanging out with friends, and was known as quiet but reliable. On the night of his disappearance, Zebb had just finished a shift at Walmart. He had plans with a coworker, Robert Jason Owens, to look at a car that Zebb was thinking about buying. It seemed like a normal night, nothing out of the ordinary, but it would become the last time anyone ever saw him alive. Part 2. The Last Night Scene. After leaving Walmart around 9 p.m., Zebb and Jason Owens drove in separate cars toward a dealership. But just a short while later, Zebb suddenly flashed his headlights, signaling Jason to pull over. According to Jason, Zebb seemed upset. He told Jason he had received a message on his pager and needed to make a phone call. After using a payphone, Zebb looked frightened. He told Jason he couldn't go to see the car that night and drove away quickly. That was the last confirmed sighting of Zebb Quinn. Part 3. The Strange Phone Call. The next day, something very strange happened. Zebb's mother, Denise, received a call from Walmart. They told her that Zebb had called in sick to work. But here's the catch. It wasn't Zebb's voice on the phone. Another employee recognized the caller as Jason Owens, the same man who was with Zebb the night before. When police questioned Jason, he admitted making the call, claiming Zebb had asked him to. This raised immediately red flags. Why would Jason cover for him? Why lie? From that moment, suspicion began to grow. Part 4. The Mysterious Car. 2 long weeks passed after Zebb Quinn vanished. His family hoped for a phone call, a sighting, anything. Then suddenly, police found his Mazda parked at the edge of a restaurant lot in Asheville. At first glance, it looked like just another abandoned car. But once investigators looked inside, they realized this was no ordinary discovery. There, wandering in the back seat, was a tiny, frightened puppy. Nobody in Zebb's family recognized the dog. He had never owned one. Why was it left inside his car? Was someone trying to send a message? Next, investigators found a jacket neatly folded on the seat. The strange part, it wasn't Zebb's size and no one in his family had ever seen it before. It was as if someone had placed it there on purpose, almost like a puzzle piece that didn't fit. And then came the most unsettling detail. On the back windshield, someone had drawn a set of bright lipstick lips. Not a smudge, not an accident, deliberately painted, almost like a taunt. Who drew them? Was it a woman, or was someone trying to make it look like a woman had been there? The entire car scene felt staged. Investigators asked themselves, was this evidence, or was it a distraction? Were these objects real clues, or a performance by someone trying to confuse the case? Even strangers, the puppy was later adopted by Zebb's own mother. Some believe that whoever left the dog behind wanted the Quinn family to take it in, as if mocking them. Others think it was a way to pull attention away from what really happened that night. The car should have brought answers. Instead, it only deepened the mystery. Every item inside seemed to whisper a different story, stories that didn't add up. And still, the biggest question remained. Where was Zebb? Part 5. The Christie Factor. As police dug deeper, another name surfaced, Christie. Zebb had a crush on a young woman named Christie, but Christie already had a boyfriend, and that boyfriend did not like Zebb's interest. Rumors began to swirl. Did jealousy play a role in his disappearance? Was Christie the reason Zebb became a target? While Christie was questioned, there was never enough evidence to connect her directly to what happened. Still, her name remains tied to the mystery, a possible motive in the shadows. Part 6. Suspicions around Jason Owens. From the very beginning, Robert Jason Owens was at the center of this mystery. He was the last person known to have seen Zebb alive, and his story kept changing. At first, Owens told police that Zebb left him after getting a page on his beeper and drove off in a hurry. But soon after, Owens was involved in not one, but 2 car accidents within just 48 hours of Zebb's disappearance. In one crash, he even claimed he was being followed and rammed off the road. Investigators couldn't ignore how strange this all was. Then in 2000, Owens confessed to a family member that he knew what had happened to Zebb. But later he took back his words, saying he had lied. His behavior made him look more and more suspicious. Years later, Owens was arrested in an entirely different case, charged with the murder of a couple in North Carolina. This connection shocked people. If Owens was capable of such violence, could he also have been behind Zebb Quinn's disappearance? Police strongly suspected it, but without a body or direct evidence, the case remained unsolved for years. Owens was eventually indicted for Zebb's murder in 2017, but the mystery of what truly happened to the young Walmart employee that night in 2000 still lingers in the minds of many. Robert Jason Owens became the shadow figure in this tragedy. Every time investigators thought they were close to answers, he pulled them back into the web of lies and half-truths. Part 7. The long shadow of the case. Over 2 decades have passed since that cold January night. Zebb's family still lives with unanswered questions, with pain that never fades. Every few years, new rumors or supposed leads surface. In 2017, Jason Owens was even indicted for first-degree murder in Zebb's case. Yet still, without Zebb's remains, the case remains locked in mystery. The strange clues, the puppy, the lipstick, the phone call, still puzzle investigators and haunt anyone who studies the case. Were they distractions or real signs of what happened that night? Part 8. Legacy and Theories. To this day, theories continue. Some say Jason Owens killed Zebb that night, hiding his body so well it has never been found. Others believe Zebb's crush on Christy placed him in danger, caught in a violent love triangle. A smaller group even wonders if Zebb ran away, though his close family insists this is impossible. What remains certain is this: an 18-year-old boy with his whole life ahead of him vanished, leaving behind only fear, grief, and a mystery that has lasted more than 20 years. Remembering Zebb. Zebb Quinn would be in his 40s today, perhaps with a family, a career, a life fully lived. Instead, he is frozen in time, remembered only through photos, news reports, and the pain of those who loved him. The disappearance of Zebb Quinn reminds us how quickly life can change, how a single night can alter everything. And until his body is found, until the full truth is revealed, his case will remain one of the most haunting mysteries in North Carolina history. This was the story of the disappearance of Zebb Quinn. If you found this story chilling, make sure to subscribe for more deep dives into true crime and unsolved mysteries. Your support helps keep these stories alive, because sometimes remembering is the only justice left.